Hi there, welcome back to your math workshop for today. So on Monday, we were working on separating brownies and sharing brownies with 4 different people. So I want us to take a look at some of the solutions that you all came up with and talk a little bit about that. So I'm going to share my screen, so take a look. All right, so remember on Monday, you were sharing 7 brownies between 4 people. So we have 7 brownies here up top represented with these rectangles. And then these dark black circles here are the people that we're sharing them with. So there are 7 brownies and 4 people. So one way that I noticed some of you were solving this problem was you were like, you know what? I know that there are at least 4 brownies here. So I know that each person is going to get at least 1 whole brownie. So you brought down 1 whole brownie for each person. So that took care of these first 4, but now you had 3 more brownies left. So you were like, well, now that I have these 3 brownies left, you know what? I'm going to divide them in half. So those last 3 brownies, I'm going to divide in half, and then I'm going to split them between the people. So this first half will go to this first person. The second half goes to this next person. This third half goes to this person, and then this fourth half here goes to this last person. But then you were like, oh no, so that took care of those 2, but now I still have 1 more brownie left that's split into halves. So how can I make sure that each person gets an equal part, an equal share here if I have 4 people and 1 brownie left? And you said, you know what? I have 4 people, so I'm just going to cut this brownie into 4 equal pieces so that I have 4 quarters here. And then you were like, okay, well, so then each person gets a little quarter. 1, 2, 3 quarters, and then 4 quarters, which equals 1 whole brownie. So in order to notate that with your fraction notations, you said, okay, well, each person got 1 brownie. They also got 1/2, and then plus 1 quarter. Whoop, 1/4. Right? So they had 1 whole, 1/2, plus 1/4. All right. So some of you did it that way. And then some of you started off very similar. So you said, okay, I'll show you another way. You said, okay, so we know that each person is going to get 1 whole brownie. So you each gave them 1 whole brownie. And so that took care of those first 4. And then you were left with these last 3 pieces, and you were like, you know what? I know there are 4 people, so I want to see if I can split each brownie into 4 pieces. So you said, all right, well, I'm just going to split each brownie into 4 pieces, and then I'm going to share them amongst each person. So split each brownie into 4 pieces. So pretend like these are equal pieces. I know my lines aren't super equal, but so then you were like, okay, so I'm going to first share this brownie out. So each person gets 1/4, 2, 3, 4. That takes care of that first 4th, that first brownie. So now I need to divvy out my second brownie. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 quarters. And now I need to divide up this last brownie so that each person gets 1/4 of that last brownie, 1/4 of that last brownie. 1, 2, 3/4, and then 4/4. And in order, so you realize, okay, I've given out all my brownies. Now I need to notate it with fractions. So you said, all right, so each person got 1, and then they got 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4. Let's move that over so you can see that all together. So then you were like, I have a question for you. Actually, is there another way that we could write this notation here so that there are less fractions? Because that takes a lot for me to write that all out, right? So we could also turn this into 1 plus, how many quarters? I have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 quarters. So I could say 3 quarters, right? So that's another way to write that. So I want to tell you something else that's really cool. When you see a whole number like this, plus a fraction, there's actually another way that we write this. So we actually write it so that there is not a plus sign in it. So the way that we actually write it, when we see a whole number plus a fraction, we actually write it like this, 1 3/4. We do that without adding the plus sign in the middle of it. And when we do that, this number is now called a mixed number. So it's mixing the whole number and the fraction, and we put them together without a plus sign, and we call that a mixed number. Okay, on your worksheet today, you're going to continue to separate and divvy up brownies so that each person gets an equal share, except you have several different ways that you're going to divide it up. So I want you to make sure that you are drawing things out so that I can see how you are doing this, and then go ahead and write it a fraction notation, just like I did next to my drawing. Good luck, have fun, and I can't wait to see you next time.